September 11th, 2001, a day etched into people's memories, the most devastating attack to ever take place on American soil. Now more than 2 decades later, a growing number of people have questioned the official story. The timing, the physics, the political aftermath, and the endless coincidences. All of it has led to one haunting question: was 9/11 an inside job? Today we are going to explore that theory, the claims, the evidence, and the reasons this idea refuses to die over 2 decades later. Our story today begins not on September 11th, but September 10th, just one day before the attacks. Then Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld announced something unbelievable.
Our financial systems are decades old. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions. We cannot share information from floor to floor in this building because it's stored on dozens of different technological systems that are inaccessible or incompatible.
The Pentagon cannot track over $2 trillion in military transactions. Not that it was missing, but just unaccounted for, lost in a maze of outdated systems and financial chaos. For conspiracy theorists, the timing is too perfect and just too cinematic, almost like it's out of a movie. They point out that the section of the Pentagon hit by Flight 77 included accounting offices working on those same financial disparities. Coincidence, bad luck, or something else entirely? Supporters of this conspiracy theory, including myself, also argue that jet fuel burns at around 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit, while the structural steel that the towers are made out of's melting point is around 2,500 degrees Fahrenheit. We all claim that the towers should not have collapsed the way they did, especially at near free fall speeds. The footage resembles a controlled demolition. Straight down, symmetrical, explosive-looking bursts of air shooting from the sides. Some eyewitnesses even reported hearing loud booms as the towers fell, which believers interpret as explosive charges. Then there is WTC Building 7, a 47-story skyscraper, not hit by a plane, yet it collapsed later that afternoon in a way many claim looked even more like a controlled demolition. To this day, Building 7 is the cornerstone of the inside job belief. It fell suddenly within seconds, it dropped straight down, it had an unusual structure design, and it housed important federal offices. The official explanation cites uncontrolled fires and internal failures that weakened its support columns, but a structure falling so cleanly without being hit is an ultimate red flag. Every major conspiracy theory needs a motive, and for many, that motive lies in foreign policy. This one in particular, Afghanistan. Throughout the 1990s, officials openly discussed the strategic importance of Afghanistan for pipelines, energy control, and geopolitical influence. Some documents and writing from the time suggest the U.S. needed a significant event or a catalyzing incident to justify deeper involvement in the region. Then less than a month later, after 9/11, the U.S. invaded Afghanistan. This sequence of evidence is no coincidence. The attack provided the perfect justification for a war that was already being discussed behind closed doors. The official response at the invasion was a direct reaction to Al-Qaeda's involvement and the Taliban's refusal to hand over Osama bin Laden. The final pillar of the inside job theory revolves around one question: who actually benefited from 9/11? Believers point out 3 major outcomes: war authorization, expanded government powers, and financial gains. War authorizations. 9/11 allowed rapid approval for wars in Afghanistan and later Iraq. Expanded government powers. The Patriotic Act increased surveillance and gave the government more authority than ever before. Financial gains. Defense contractors, security agencies, and intelligence operators saw massive increases in their funding. These outcomes line up too neatly for comfortability. Actions after 9/11 were necessary responses to unprecedented attacks. So where does this leave us? With a story that's part tragedy, part mystery, and part unanswered questions. For some, 9/11 was exactly what the official reports say it was, and for others, it was a turning point engineered from the inside. In the end, the truth depends on which side of the interference you turn to. But this is signal interference, and if you want more deep dives into history's darkest theories, make sure to subscribe because we're only just getting started.